Hi and welcome. Good evening. My name's Angela J. Bailey in the UK and my colleague Mark Walsh is with me. Do you want to say hi, Mark?
Hello everybody.
Everybody.
Well, and not damaged by the storm.
Yeah, if you're in the UK, I hope you're safe. Thank you for joining us tonight. And as our link has said, around the internet, we're here tonight to give you 30 minutes of pure gold with SEO, that search engine optimization. And myself and Mark have set up this group of webinars to be able to educate you and to help you. We've now been online marketers, myself for a number of months, and Mark for about a year, I believe.
About a year and a half.
A year and a half. However, prior to that, and even now, we're still associated with different MLMs. I know, Mark, you're still in the offline world. However, both of us have come into the online world and found certain parts of it really easy to use. And then there's other elements where we struggled a little bit. And I think everyone's aware that there's some fantastic courses out there, but sometimes when we're starting out, we overcomplicate things. That's what we want to do, and that's our aim in these 30-minute sessions. So search engine optimization, I think, is one of the scariest things online. Everybody thinks it's really, really complicated. However, tonight, what we're going to do is hopefully dispel some of those myths and show you just how easy it is. If you have a straightforward process that you can follow, something that probably takes you 10 minutes, and you can whittle it down to about 10 minutes, then that can set you up to make sure that whatever you place onto the internet has got a really, really good chance of ranking. You know that you'll compete in the right market, in the right space, and you also know that you're not trying to compete directly against companies such as Tesco, which spend millions every single month, okay? So our aim is to help you, to educate you, and get you to where you want to be. Now, some of you out there may be associated with companies such as we're associated with. We're both experienced bloggers. We've been blogging in our own right for a little while, and more recently what we've done is come onto an automated system which enables us to spend time getting our content out there. So that's a little bit about us and what we're going to do. So I'm going to be handing you over to Mark, who is going to give you an overview of how he uses SEO. And for anybody on the call, if you've ever heard of Rob Thor, and if you haven't, I have to say Google him, but Rob Thor is really the SEO king. He's not a guru, he doesn't name himself as a guru. He is the king, somebody that we all learn from, and what we've done is taken his training, followed him on the internet, and that's how we've got our knowledge. So Mark, is it okay if I hand over to you?
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is make this as interesting as possible, and SEO is one of those subjects which is really quite difficult to get your head around. As Angela just said there, Rob Thor is probably the king of SEO. He can get any sort of content to rank highly on Google. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share screens with you in a second. I'm going to go through some of these techie terms to start with, because I know that some people struggle with technical terms. Just bear with me a second while the screen comes on. You should be able to see my screen now, so I'll just switch on to, I'll bring something up for you so you can see. Right. Right, we're just going to cover a few techie terms here first of all. So I'm not going to make any assumptions that people actually know all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is, and obviously this webinar is recorded. It goes onto YouTube, so you can. We usually put the link back in our Empowered Crew group, and it's usually on the internet as well. So you can find this webinar again. And I would I wouldn't go mad and making notes right now. Make some notes if you feel you have to, because you can come back and study this and use the pause button on the YouTube recording. Now, just techie terms, I've written a few notes here. So content, we talked about content last week, and that's anything to do with what you produce as content: written posts, audio posts, image and video posts. Keyword or key phrase. Let's cover this, what we're looking for, because some people don't even know what a keyword is. A keyword is a search term that people input into their search engine. So when they go on Google or Bing or Yahoo, they put in a particular phrase, usually a phrase, how do I do this or how do I do that? And that would be a keyword or a key phrase. And really, look, what they're trying to do is find an answer to a question. And there's millions upon millions of these searches every day. So what our job is to deliver the answer to a particular search that people are looking for. This is one that confuses people, the SERPs, or the search engine results pages. Once you click submit or search, whatever comes up is the results of that search, and the results of that search are ordered from in pages, and page 1, and then there's page 2, and then page 3, and each page has 10 results on it. So on page 1, we're going to go into page 1 because it's quite important in a few seconds. Page 1 of the SERPs is the most important page, and that's where you want to actually, and the next term is rank. You want to rank on there. You want to rank on there because 90% of the people, or the people who search for something, will click on a link on page 1. 90%. That means that 90% of the traffic will be absorbed by page 1. 40% of that traffic, and traffic is a term which we mean the people who are searching, will go to the number 1 slot. 40%. So that's a hell of a. So if you can get yourself to rank on that particular keyword at the top on page 1, then you are going to get 40% of the traffic. If you're on page 1 anywhere, you'll get a share of 90% of that traffic, and that would mean that you would have 90% of any leads that you might be generating, or you would have 90% of any sales that are generated. So it's really quite important if you can rank on page 1 for a particular keyword or key phrase. And we're just looking at this term here because it's going to crop up a little bit later, and I know it's been used quite a lot in the last few days. Social media syndication. It's just where a group of people come together to work together as a team to promote each other's content by liking, commenting, sharing that content. So hopefully that takes care of the techie terms that we're going to. I don't make assumptions that people know this. Now the next part, I want to actually look at how we blog and the blogging process. And I want to think of this as a process. That you start off, the first thing you do before you even sit down, you start to think, and these ideas crop up to you, they certainly crop up into my mind as I go through the day. And the first thing I'm thinking of is what is the purpose of that blog? If I'm going to produce some content on video, I'm going to produce some content on written posts or image, I want to have some purpose for that blog. That might be, do I want to engage with people? Do I want to generate leads? Or do I want to sell something like an affiliate product? So I need to know exactly what it is I'm trying to achieve. Then what I want to do is what we're going to look at now is the keyword research. I think this is a flow or a process. The keyword research has been the next part. Last week we looked at content creation, a little bit back to front I guess, but we looked at content creation last week and gave you some ideas of the different ways that you could actually create content. The next thing you want to do, and this is really quite simple, and the blog beast platform with Empower Network takes care of most of this, but I'm just going to share with you a few tips tonight to show you how you can use a bit extra of on-page SEO. I don't even know what I'm doing is necessary. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, so hopefully that might help you. Then you publish the content to the internet. That means it puts it out there, and then you can do some off-page SEO. SEO being search engine optimization. I didn't actually put that on there, did I? Naughty boy. Search engine optimization is really how best you can optimize your content and your post so that Google can pick it up and it can rank it accordingly. Okay, so we've got social media sharing. In other words, you put in your so things like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, even YouTube. Social media syndication is how we can work together as teams, as mentioned already, and maybe putting some ping in as well. I'll explain what these are in a different webinar, but right now we're going to focus on keyword research. So what I've done in preparation for this webinar, I've actually prepared a post. So this is a post that I've put together today, I spent a little bit of time on this one, and I actually did some keyword research on this, and I spent some time on the keyword research, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I've put this particular course together, Discover Why It's Vital, and I have not published this yet. And the actual keyword, let's see if you can guess the keyword in all of this. So I search for a keyword, I've got an image there, which I've put up onto the blog beast, and then I've got the actual content, the body of text itself. And I haven't done anything other than that, and just copy it, because I produce most of my content. Little tip for you, on Word, I'll have a Word document. I'll show you my Word document. So my Word document's here, and I will actually have the content there with all the keywords, the links and everything are there. So I prepare this today, and then I'll produce that content, and I'll just copy paste it into the blog beast when I'm ready. And that means I've got a record as well of what I've actually produced. I just find it easy. I've had a couple of hiccups with the blog beast. In other words, when I've pressed publish, sometimes it's timed out and I've lost the whole thing. So I've just learned my lesson there. So here you've got the content. We're not going to go through reading the content. If you want to, you can come back and read that particular post later on. But the actual keyword here is business strategy. Business strategy. Now I found that in the following way. I used a free keyword research tool called Keyword Planner. Now I'll just go into this and show you. I'll start it again, so I'm going to show you how you can find your way to it. I have a link already in my favorites to keyword research to Google's Planner. It's actually Google's own keyword research tool. When it comes up. And you can do your keyword research from here, hopefully. Right, yeah. So when you go into your planner, you have to sign in first of all, and you can sign in using a Gmail account. If you haven't got a Gmail account, just create a Gmail account. Maybe also at the same time create a Google Plus account, because that's good to have for sharing your content. And then you can go into the keyword planner. If you search for Google Keyword Planner, you'll find this page or the introduction to it. Now in this here, it's very simple to use, and I tested this free tool against a paid tool earlier today, and the results coming back were very similar. There's one or two things that the paid thing can do better, but this is actually completely free, and you can use this to get started. Now what I'll do is I'll put in the word strategy or the business strategy in here. So you just enter what would be your keyword. Sometimes you might put in a general keyword, or what I call a seed keyword, and it will give you other results off. And I'll just show what I mean by that. Now what I tend to do is to customize the search here. And what I'll do is click this box, and it opens this box. And what I will do, I'm only looking for low competition keywords. Now let me explain what this is. If you have a high competition keyword, let's say the word football, any sport, but just think football. So if you search football, then more than likely you're going to get millions of results back, and it's going to be highly competitive. And there's going to be people like the FA, I guess, the Premier League. Each football club will be having their own sites, web pages. What's going to happen is you're not going to be able to rank for that, because it's going to be so competitive, you're not going to be able to rank for that keyword. If then you put another keyword, like say football I live in Lancashire, football in Lancashire, then you might get less search results. So it's less competitive. Then you might get, I don't know, something like Burnley Football Club, which I actually support, believe it or not. They're doing very well at the moment, but I actually support them, and you would probably get some good results back again. You might still be too competitive. You're looking for low competitive keywords, something that doesn't attract as much traffic, but a reasonable amount. And if you have much better chance of ranking or indexing on page 1 for that keyword than you have when you're targeting high keywords. I'll be honest with you, if you're targeting high competition keywords or even medium competition keywords, you'll be pretty much wasting your time. I'm going to maybe delve into that a little bit later on in this webinar, but certainly I click low on there, and then I just close that box and then press Get Ideas. And it brings up the next page. The next page, flick to Keyword Ideas here. It's got the seed keyword here. Can you see the seed keywords there? And it's telling me here that the business strategy has 18,100 searches per month. It actually shown on here as a medium keyword, but I'm going to show you a little system that I use later, which I've picked out earlier on today to show you how that I would select that keyword as possibly one I could rank for. Below this, it gives you other keywords that you could consider. Now these are all low competitions, and what I'm looking for initially here is the amount of traffic per month. So if it's only got 300, it's not worth going for. Maybe 3,500, but business strategy game. What you've also got to be thinking about with this keyword research is how well you can fit the keyword into your content. So if you have a really long keyword and it doesn't really quite match, you will have difficulty putting it into your content. Some people go for what they call long tail keywords because they're naturally, long tail keyword is something like 4 or 5 or 6 words long, and people will go for those because they tend to have less competition. And it just really is. This is why they call it research. You've got to do a little bit of research to find out what you can find. There's one there, business level strategy, which is 2,900 searches per month. So of that 2,900 searches, 90% will be taken by page 1. Okay, so 90% of that traffic for that keyword will go to page 1. So you can select your keyword, and a really quick way of getting into keyword research will be to take, let's say, the keyword business strategy or whatever else you find there. Let's just try football, just for the sake of it, and see what kind of search results we get back. Okay, you can see there, it says it's there a low one. I would pretty much suspect that football is a very highly searched research keyword, and it's got 1.8 million searches per month. So it sounds good, but these aren't low keywords. I can assure you, these are high competition keywords. This is maybe one of the fall downs of the free planner. You can only really go off, and just as a point, all of the keyword research you're doing is a guide. It's never going to be 100% accurate. It's a guide. It gives you a reference to what you're trying to do. So I would reckon that football would be a fairly big keyword to go for. This is some big results there. Let's just try my favourite team and see what sort of traffic they're getting. Probably a lot at the moment because they're top of the league. So 5,400 searches a month. As you come down to Liverpool, you can see Liverpool here. Burnley FC gets more. So you can see how this thing's working. Another little guide for you is, and I don't really use this an awful lot, is how much people, this suggested bid. This is how much people are paying to advertise for that keyword. I wouldn't really take a lot of notes. So all I'm looking for here is a keyword that gives me a reasonably low competition level, and it also gives me a reasonable amount of traffic. And I can go straight for that. I can pick up the keyword. I can go to my content. I can write my content with the keyword embedded in the content. Now you'll see what I've done. And actually, when I'm writing now with a blog post, I'll write them with a keyword in mind. So you've got the keyword there. So what I'll do there is I'll just bold that. I still use some of the on-page stuff that I did for when I was blogging before. It's another one here, you see, so I can maybe I'll put a link in there. Just 1 second, I'll grab a link, copy, I'll pick that up, and there's on the keyword I'll just link it. So I'll just go here and put a link. Now this what this will do, it will take, that's not the wrong one actually, just 1 second. Let me just get a keyword rather than a title. That's a keyword. This is actually for the blog beast. So I'm promoting the blog beast here. Copy. And then paste. And always I try to open on a different tab. And there you have it. So the keyword now is linked with a link to the place where we can where they can go to get more information. Have a look at what I use now. Again, I'll just put all my links in. So quickly you can move through this content, putting links in. Now, in the old system, if you like, of SEO, we used to bold one keyword, italicize another. So we'll look for another keyword somewhere. Business strategy. So put one in italics. And then put another in, underline it. So just looking for the others one there, look. So we can underline that keyword there. So what I've done is it gives it a better chance of SEO. Google has a certain way of picking up on the content, and it will look at the content to see if it's original, of which this is, and what it'll also do is look and see what keywords have been used and how the keywords are spread throughout the actual content. It's looking for the relevance of business strategy for that particular article. So that's all I really do. I mean, we can't put it's in the header. I make sure it's in the header. Now, what I also do, this is just for the blog beast, and I found this by watching videos on YouTube. I will then go to finish this off. I'll make it for the team members and a public blog. I'll then select the only blog I have at the moment is the Empower Network blog. I will then go to, let's see, we're talking about keywords, probably internet marketing might be a good. I only take one category. Don't try and multiple category that, just one. Otherwise, you actually does you a disservice. And this is the bit I found, which was new to me the other day. And I will put my keyword in there. I'm going to show you a little gem now, which Rob4 shares. Now, when you actually put one keyword and you're allowed up to 60 characters, what the idea was that the first keyword goes in there. Then you use a pipe. Now what that is, it's a straight vertical line on your keyboard. Mine is next to the left-hand shift key on my keyboard, on a QWERTY keyboard. And what I would do then, I've actually prepared in my content some alternative keywords. So these are the keywords that also have quite a lot of, so I'll just copy it, quite a lot of traffic. So strategy is another one. Now I think what I was doing at first with the blog beast, I was actually just leaving that as being as a title, but that's apparently not the right thing to do. You should put your keywords in here, your main body keywords in there. And so if you get 3 keywords or so, internet marketing strategies is another one, and then that will be your meta HTML meta tags. Internet marketing strategies. Now these other keywords I'm using there, I'm just using them to attract traffic. This one here is another box for actual keywords and relevant keywords. So what we're going to, it says maximum of 8 keywords and key phrases recommended. So I tend to use about 5. So we want to put the lead keyword in there first, business strategies or strategy. Now this is the part that I like. We go then to Google. Now when I talked about the first page of Google, we'll put in here business. This is the first page of Google. Yeah. So business strategy. Now when we said about putting a key phrase in, that is something that somebody might type into keyword, and that has so much traffic per month. Below that is all the results, the top 10 results. This is the top one, so this will get 40% of the traffic. Below that, you come down the page and you've got all the other 10. Actually, there's more than 10 there, isn't there? But that's the top 10 are the ones that are usually on page 1. These bottom ones here, searches related to business strategy. These ones you can take because these are things that people will search for. Copy them and put that into here, separated by a comma. Just pick the ones that you think are the most relevant. And this sort of optimizes the keyword research. So anybody looking for, I guess the thinking behind this is anybody looking for, I think I didn't take that one, did I? Anybody looking for a your keyword may well search one of these other ones and end up looking at yours, if that makes sense. So there, we've got 5 now. With the main keyword, I took 4 of these. So all you need to do is Google search your keyword you've chosen, go to the bottom of the page, and then pinch them. Now in the bottom here, what I tend to do here is I cheat a little bit. I'll go to the top. I'll just take the first few lines there, copy, and then copy paste and C there, and then come down here to the bottom and just paste that in. Okay, and then that will be it. So that will be that blog optimized for keywords. Just to summarize, it would have the keyword in the title, it would have the keyword in the content, it would have the keyword here, the business meta tags as I showed you with these pipes in the center, and then it would have the keyword. It's actually changed. Can you see? I'll go back and change. I'm not going to do that now, but sometimes it does that. But you can go back and then take them out and put in those keywords again. I won't do that now because we're going to waste time. And what I'll do is in the meta description here is put this description, and then I would publish that blog. So when I publish that blog, with the keyword research I've done and the promotion I'm going to do, because that's important, I'm going to promote post afterwards, you would have done the best you could using keywords to actually get that content up. And just quickly, finally, this is a tool which we use for keyword research. I've done some research on, this is Market Samurai. This is a paid tool. I'm not promoting this tool right now. I'm not going to give any links to this tool, but this tool is something I've used for quite some time. And what it will do, you can find SEO competition. This is something Rob4 is very big at. You want to know how you're competing against other keywords. And what I'll just show you quickly, really quickly, is how we would actually search for this stuff. And if you look at this page, this is how this is the top 10 sites for business strategy. It shows here the page ranking of those sites. What Rob4 does, he adds all these up and divides them, the top 10, and divides them by 10. He gets a figure. If that figure is more than 3, he will not go for that keyword. If it's lower than 3, he will. You'll look at now backlinks. You'll hear a lot about backlinks. I'm not going to talk too much about backlinks. Backlinks are generally people who come and visit your site. There's low quality backlinks, which is what these are here. You can see it's worth going for because there's a low number of backlinks, and here are some high level backlinks. One of the things about social syndication is you can actually drive some high quality backlinks to your site. And if you see more red here or pinkish color than you can see green, then it's generally a keyword to stay away from. But I thought I'd have a give it a go this one today. So that's generally where you can use Market Samurai for. It gives you into more detail about the search results. So hopefully that has explained, if I go back to the webinar, that has explained at least some of the strategies that I use personally daily for keyword research. So just to summarize again, hopefully it's not too techy. I've packed an awful lot of information in there in a very, very short time. So what I will do, you'll be able to come back obviously and watch the video. If you have any questions right now, any glaring questions or things that you do that maybe I don't do, or maybe mistakes or what I've made there, then let me know, because no one is perfect. But that is something I do. Just to summarize, I do search out low quality, low competition, high traffic keywords. I look for those purposely. And when I'm trying, I have a particular formula for doing that. And when I find those, I'll create content around that keyword. That gives me a really good chance of indexing or ranking on Google search results on page 1. With a bit of promotion, I can rank for page 1. If I can get on page 1, I'll be getting either people looking at that post, I'll be getting leads from that post, I'll be getting sales from that post, or sales of the blog beast or whatever we're trying to sell for that thing. So that is the key, the reason why you would do keyword research. So even though you have the blog beast and it does do a lot of this for you, you still have to be tactical, I guess, and do some keyword research of your own type. So Angela, that's me. Hopefully that's helped. I try to make it as simple as possible. If you want to come back in and have a chat and let me know what you think.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Mark. I cannot believe how much you've packed into 30 minutes. So for all of you on the call, that may have sounded a lot of information, but Mark really simplified that. And it doesn't matter what business you have, whether you are blogging or whether you're trying to sell something on the internet. That is what SEO is. It's about getting to the high rankings so people can see you. That's getting eyeballs on your blog, your website, whatever it is, and that's what generates sales. And let's face it, that's what we're doing on the internet. We're either looking for traffic, for information, or to make sales. So, Mark, that was brilliant. I think one of the theories that's been dispelled, and I know we dispelled it quite some time ago, was when Google had changed their website on keyword research. People were really scared, but you proved, and on this webinar tonight, that whether you're using the paid Market Samurai, which is $297 at least, there are additional features on that. Of course, people should buy it when they're at the right level. But you've just proved that the Keyword Planner is a really, really good free tool that is fantastic for anybody who's looking to rank on the internet. And you know what? You can do it. You can rank with just Keyword Planner, can't you?
Yeah, I think you can to a certain extent. I think I think that the Market Samurai, when I bought it, it's still the same price, $147.
Oh,
so it's not bad. But and also if you can have an affiliate link for that, and you can sell that, and I think it's 50% commissions. So it's not a bad thing to have in your office, if you like, as a professional tool. But what I would say to you, yes, you're quite right. You can actually go and use the Google Planner just for keyword research and get some good results. I guess it's a skill, and it takes a little bit of time to learn, but it's worth learning, because if you're serious about blogging and you're putting your videos out there, and what you want people to watch them, you want people to see what you do, and I think keyword research, as I said before, is a part of a process. It's not actually the whole process. It's part of a process which you can use for the whole thing. So don't think of it in it's a part of something. The content creation is important. The SEO on page, I guess, is important, which is BlogBeast takes care of that. And I think one of the most important things, when people really miss this, is when they've actually produced the content, they've put it out there, is to get it promoted. That's what we're going to be looking at in a few weeks' time, I think.
Yeah, we're going to be going through that in a little while. But one thing that people struggle with is understanding SEO. And what happens is they get scared of it, so they can produce content, they will continue to produce the content, but they are scared to find out how to use SEO. And Mark described it perfectly tonight, so thank you very much, Mark. Just a couple of points. I think when you were mentioning about looking for the low competition and the amount of traffic, there are people who will use anything from 1,000 upwards. So again, it's down to you to play. It depends what market you're entering into, what type of information you're trying to rank alongside. But I think, anything that does 2,500 plus is great. However, there's a lot of people in the industry who say anything with 1,000, or I do know people who go lower than 1,000, but benchmark about 2.5 upwards, and that's really good if you can get low competition.
Yeah, I think some people, they tend to think, they see 80,000 or 100,000 searches and think, I'll have a piece of that.
No!
And the problem with that is you're not going to rank. You're not going to rank.
No, you're not. Something else as well, just one of the other little tips I picked up, especially as you're trying to rank yourself, your brand. And let's face it, most of us online are branding ourselves by our name. And something that you can put in the keyword, in the tag, is your own name. So I put Angela J. Bailey in there, and that helps you. So again, if you've got 4 or 5, stick your name in there, because if anybody's searching for you, or if your name's similar to somebody else's, you've got a very good chance of your content being pulled up. But I think you've gone through everything on BlogBeast, which is really good. And it's coming back to engagement, leads, and sales. It's just making sure that happens consistently, and making sure that in order to engage, your content is up there with the other best people on the internet. So I don't know if there's any questions, Mark, that we need to answer.
I'm looking at Chris's question here. I'm just going to go back over the questions just quickly.
Brilliant.
Chris, I'm putting the figures in now for you. You're looking for keywords around about 2,500 minimum.
Yeah.
That's monthly, so you might get some keyword devices which give you daily content. Make sure you read it daily or monthly. I'd say 2,500, but obviously be careful not getting too much. I think that's what you mean. Jason's asking, could I please publish the link? The link being for this webinar, Jason, I would imagine. That will be in the Empowered group after this, so you can go back and have a look at if that's what you mean, Jason.
I think that's probably for the keyword planner. So
right, okay, yeah. Well, all you need to do with that is go on to Google itself and search Google Planner. That's what you need to do, keyword planner. That's it. Put that in your Google search and it'll bring it up. Top of the results, by the way.
And make sure you store this webinar, because you will go rewind to find the little boxes that Mark's gone through with you. So just make sure that you have this webinar stored, and then you're going to be able to guide yourself through keywords. But I think one of the, I come across so many people who have Market Samurai, and they don't use it because they don't understand it. And I think understanding the keyword planner, first of all, helps you understand how this works, and then of course you can work on to move on to the more advanced Market Samurai. But yes, this is a great introduction.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just right, Angela. People do get confused and scared and fear it, and it's just something you take on. What you've had tonight is, I mean, I've paid probably around $400 for tonight's content, which you've had for free. I've paid for courses on keyword research and other things in SEO. You've got that for free virtually tonight. So that's exactly what I do every day. I don't do anything different. I've just shown you. So it really is a very, very good tips we've shown and shared on this webinar. But if you do invest in Market Samurai at some point, and I think if you get on with it, and you are making a little bit of money, then it will be a good investment. Then there's some excellent training videos on there that show you how to use each of the things. It sounds complex, but it's not. It's not difficult at all. And this stuff I do every day, I can pick a keyword up and put it in my content within 2 or 3 minutes.
I think it's very similar to, there's a lot of people in retail, and if you're in retail, you have to be able to know how to display in your shop, on the shelves, in the window. This is no different. We all have fantastic content, and you just need to know how to position it and place it on the internet, and that's all you're doing. There is a skill to it, there's a science to it. Just get used to it and don't be scared by it. Make sure you stay, and you'll get there. It's
just to wrap it up, it's a tool of the trade.
Yes.
It's something you have in your toolbox that you can use. It's a skill you can learn, and I learned it, so anybody can learn it. And if you look at one important thing, if you do go in your blog beast, in the back office now, you have your training videos. I've been through a training video with Lawrence Tam, which is on blogging itself. That's quite a very, very good video. You've got how to get traffic. And there's on other videos, there's 4 or 5 videos there which are really, really good. So the first thing you should do if you want to learn how to use the blog beast effectively is get on those training videos. There's about 4 or 5 hours of videos over a week. You probably take that content in, take some notes and everything else, and then implement what they're showing. This is an added extra keyword research what I've shown you tonight. It's through experience that I've integrated into what I do with the blog beast. But there's no reason why in time you couldn't actually just put this in, integrate yourself, put this in alongside what they're doing on the blog beast as well. So I'd advise you that, because they are the experts who use the blog beast, use the blog beast through videos, and then maybe use a keyword planner just to try and give yourself that extra bit. Okay, but always think of it as a process. The skills you have to learn for blogging are: 1, you've got to learn how to write content, and you can pick your content up on, every day. I'm putting 2 or 3 blogs out a day, so there's plenty of content going out. Secondly, you've got to know how to do your keyword research, and it can be very quick once you get it. Thirdly, you want to be looking at how to optimize your actual content before you publish it, which is very simple. And then finally, you need to know some strategies for actually promoting your content when you get it out there. If you do that daily and you learn this trait, the skills of what we're showing here, then you'll be able to get good ranking for whatever keyword you're ranking for. Okay, so that's me finished.
Brilliant, thank you. So just to remind everybody, because we've got some people in the screen and we've got some people who are looking and following our training sessions. So for anybody who's got blog beast, sorry, could I just ask you to go on to silent, Mark, please?
Yeah, sure, getting feedback.
So for anybody who's on blog beast, there is a webinar tonight and that's at 2 a.m. in the morning GMT, London time. That is going to give you an overview of what's happening next, and there's going to be some huge changes. This is going to be your last opportunity to sign up for Blog Beat as well. If you do not sign up by, I believe, 2 a.m. UK time, that's it. You're not going to be able to sign up for I don't know how many days. So if we can put the links on the email that will be going out later, if I've introduced you to the call, then please sign up under myself. If Mark has introduced you to the call, if you want to Blog Beat, sign up under Mark. And for anybody else, whoever invited you onto this training session, please make sure you go back to that person and make sure you register under them. This is a group webinar, but we also have a lot of guests who are starting to use it because of the training and the content that we're giving. So welcome, but just remember who introduced you and stick with them. And that's it from me. So I think that's it, unless we've got any more questions, Mark.
No, just thank you very much just from people. So something about rate. Do I rate voice recognition software? No, I do not rate that. I will just write it as you do. I would normally write it. The question was, do either of you rate voice recognition software for speed typing in order to blog faster? Video it. Answer to that one.
I video everything, and I had another example. I sent an email out to 1,500 people today. How many people commented on my video? None. There were no errors in my video. I had several emails back saying about typos and did I need somebody to spell check for me. So I video absolutely everything. I hate writing because I always make mistakes. And the best thing I think there is out there is YouTube. Do a video. You can get YouTube to script it for you, and then you have to go through and auto-correct or self-correct everything. But that's as good as anything else out there if you have to use that. Or just pay somebody. Go on to Fiverr.com and get somebody to transcribe for you. And Fiverr is Fiverr.com. Have a look around there and get somebody to start transcribing. Any other questions?
No, that's it. Must be made a thank you. So I think it's time to wrap up now. We're 10 minutes over. Or another
thank
15
you very
minutes.
much. I think it's acceptable though. SEO, massive subject. Thank you very much, Mark. You did an amazing session on SEO. And I think next time we're going to be going through some syndication, probably in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, next week we'll have something unusual for you as ever.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Okay. Good night, Angela. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Thank you for sticking around. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.